Hi all, in this video we are going to study some terminologies related to theory of computation. So what is the first terminology? Simple. Simple is an abstract entity or it is an indivisible object. Indivisible object means we cannot divide that object further. That means letters and digits. For example, are letters and digits. Suppose you take the letters. You know A, B, C, D, etc. up to Z are the letters of the English alphabet. You cannot divide A again into smaller unit. Suppose you have a word Kozhikode. You can divide that word Kozhikode into letters K, O, Z, H, I like that. Okay. So a simple is an indivisible object. We cannot divide that object into further. Or it is a entity that cannot be defined formally. The examples are letters and digits. Next one is string or a word. String or a word means a finite sequence of simples put together. For example, suppose we have the simples A, I, N, D. Okay, A, I, N, D are the some simples. Then suppose I write these simples in some particular sequence. For example, I, N, D, I, A. You get a string. So here finite sequence of simple just put together. Okay, finite sequence of simples put together. You get a string, and that string is represented by the small letter W. Okay, string is represented by W. So we can write it as W is equal to India. INDIA, India. India is a string. Then what do you mean by length of the string? Next terminology is length of the string. Length of the string is represented by the simple like this. W in two vertical lines. Between two vertical lines. The number of simples in the string is called the length of the string. So here in the string India contains 5 simples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So length of W is equal to 5. So the number of simples composing a string is called the length of the string, and it is represented by denoted by the simple W within two vertical lines. Okay. Next is empty string. Empty string means the string consists of 0 simples. String consists of 0 simple, and it is represented by the simple epsilon. This is read as epsilon like this. Epsilon. Okay. Length of epsilon is equal to 0. Length of epsilon is equal to 0. That means number of simples in the that empty string is 0. So length of epsilon is equal to 0. So empty string means a string consists of 0 simples represented by epsilon. Next is prefix of a string. Prefix of a string means we can take one string, that is previous string W is equal to IND. India, INDIA. Okay, W is a string India. So prefix of a string means any number of leading symbols of that string. Any number of leading symbols of that string. So we can write the prefixes as first leading symbol is string with 0 number of symbols, that is epsilon. Okay, epsilon is the first prefix. Next prefixes are I, IN, IND, INDI, then INDIA. So these are the prefixes of the string India. W is equal to India. Okay. Then next, what is suffix of a string? Suffix of a string means any number of trailing symbols of a string. Any number of trailing symbols of a string. That means, so India is our string, then trailing symbols are A, IA, DIA, then NDIA, then INDIA, and also epsilon. Okay, and also epsilon. Okay, so these are the suffixes of the string. That means suffix means any number of trailing symbols of a string. The next is, what is the proper suffix or proper prefix? Prefix or suffix of a string other than the string itself. When you write the prefix or suffix, the string itself is a prefix or suffix of a string. So eliminating this string itself, this one, it become a proper suffix. Okay, here also we eliminate this intia, then this becomes the proper prefix, and here when you eliminate the intia, this becomes the proper suffix. So proper prefix or proper suffix means prefix or suffix of a string other than the string itself. Okay. Next is concatenation of two strings. Concatenation of two strings means first string, concatenation of the two strings is formed by writing the first string followed by the second string with no intervening space. For example, suppose our first string is CEM. First string W1 is equal to CEM. And second string is, and the second string W2 is equal to Punnapra. Okay, then we can combine these two as W1 followed by W2. W1 followed by W2. Concatenation of W1 and W2 means W1 followed by W2 without any intervening space. So we get CEM Punnapra. Okay, there is no space between CEM and Punnapra. Okay, so this is the concatenation. So writing the first string followed by the second string without any intervening space. And the identity for this concatenation is epsilon. That means epsilon W is equal to W, epsilon is equal to W itself. That means when you perform concatenation operation with epsilon is the empty string, you get the string itself. So identity for the concatenation operation is epsilon. That is empty string. Okay. The next is alphabet. What do you mean by an alphabet? Finite set of simples. You know what is a simples? Simples means it is an indivisible entity, indivisible object. Okay, so a finite set of simples is called an alphabet, and it is represented by sigma. Okay, for example, in the case of a digital system, consider the digital system. You know, in digital system we take only 2 digits, that is 2 bits, that is 0 and 1. So sigma is equal to, in digital system, sigma is equal to set 0, 1. Okay, it is finite. That's why we write within a set. 0 and 1 are the bits. So finite set of simples is called a alphabet. So alphabet of the digital system are set 0, 1. In English language, sigma is equal to A, B, C, etc. up to Z. So there are only 26 alphabets. So it is finite. So it is called as sigma. So it is denoted by the letter sigma. Okay, write it like this. Sigma. Okay. Then what is language or the formal language? A set of strings or symbols from some one alphabet. That is called a language. Okay, set of strings or symbols from one alphabet. You know what is an alphabet? Alphabet is represented by sigma. Okay, sigma is the alphabet. Okay, suppose sigma is equal to set 0, 1. Okay, in digital system we get set 0. So we can form different strings using this 0, 1. Suppose W1 is equal to 0, 0, 1. W2 is equal to 0, 1, 0. W3 is equal to 1, 1, 0. Okay. So property of these strings are it contains only 3 bits. So we can write L is equal to L. Language is represented by the letter capital L. L is equal to set of all strings, that is 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, then 1, 1, 0, etc. Okay, we can construct any number of strings from these two symbols. That means any number of strings from the sigma is equal to set 0 1 that containing 3 bits. So we can write here etc. Not only 3 strings. Okay, by using the alphabets 0 and 1 we can construct any number of strings of size 3. Okay, how many strings we can construct? Actually the strings are actually 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, these are the strings of length 3 strings of length 3 in the alphabet sigma is equal to set 0. Okay, so this is a language. Okay, this is a language. So language means set of all strings or symbols from a one alphabet. It is denoted by the letter L. So we can write another language from this alphabet. That is, suppose we have to construct all the palindromes. You know what is a palindrome? Palindrome means that reads back and forth same. When you read from left to right and also from right to left, it reads the same. That is called a palindrome. Okay, Malayalam is a palindrome. When you read from left to right, it is Malayalam. Spelling is same. And from right to left also the spelling is same. M-A-L-A-Y-A-L-A-M. Okay, that is called a palindrome. So construct a palindrome using the alphabet sigma is equal to 0 1. First we have to construct the strings using the palindrome strings using the alphabet 0 1. Okay, alphabet 0 1. For example, W is equal to W1 is equal to 0 1 0. 0 1 0 is a palindrome because 0 1 0, when you read it back, it is also 0 1 0. Next is 1 1 1. Okay, 0 1 1 0. Okay, these are the some. This is W2 and here it is W3. Okay, these are the some palindromes over the alphabet sigma is equal to set 0. Okay, so we can write L as L is equal to 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Not only this much strings, there are many other palindromes. We can construct many other palindromes using the alphabet set 0 1. So I put just etc. Okay. Then empty set and empty string are languages, but they are different. Empty set means null set. Okay, this one is null set or empty set, and this one is empty string. Empty set means it contain, there is no string in the set. Okay, no string in the set. The set is empty. We can represent empty set as just like this. This is empty set. But empty string means the set contains one string. That is empty string. So that is the difference between empty string and empty set and empty string. These two are languages. Okay, clear? What do you mean by language? So in English we have the alphabet A to Z. We can construct many words using the alphabets A to Z. Okay. Sigma is equal to set N A I S D. Okay, so the given alphabet as NAIST. Only these are the alphabets. Okay, only these are the alphabets sigma, set of symbols. So you can construct number of words from this alphabets. Okay, meaningful words. One meaningful word is INDIA, India. Next word is W2 is equal to IS. Next word W3 is equal to in. Okay. Next word W4 is equal to AND. Okay, these are the words in the alphabet. Okay, Then what is the language? Language means set of all words. When you write this strings as a set of all words or strings, then it is a language. That means L is equal to India, comma is is, then in, then and. Okay, so these are the languages. Set of all strings is called the languages. Okay, clear? Again we can construct another words from this language. Then we put just etc. here. Okay, so this is about the language. Epsilon is also a member of the language, so we can write L is equal to epsilon also. Include epsilon in the language set. Here also just include the epsilon in the language set. Okay. Next is power of an alphabet. What is power of an alphabet? If sigma is an alphabet, the set of all strings of certain length from that alphabet by using an exponential notation. That means, suppose we write sigma raised to 1. Sigma raised to 1 means set of all strings of length 1 from this alphabet sigma. Okay. So generally we can write it as sigma raised to k. Sigma raised to k represent set of all strings of length k, each of whose symbol in sigma. Okay. Then sigma raised to 0. Sigma raised to 0 means set of all strings of length 0 from the alphabet sigma. That means strings of length 0 means epsilon. So sigma raised to 0 is equal to epsilon no matter what the alphabet sigma is. So whatever may be the alphabet, sigma raised to 0 is always epsilon. For example, suppose we take sigma is equal to set 01. Sigma is equal to set 01. What is sigma raised to 1? Sigma raised to 1 means set of all strings of length 1. So from this alphabet, length 1 strings are 0 and 1 itself. So sigma raised to 1 is equal to 0, 1. Okay. Then what is sigma raised to 2? Sigma raised to 2 indicates set of all strings of length 2 from the alphabet sigma is equal to set 01. So it becomes 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. There are 4 strings of length 2 from the alphabet sigma is equal to set 01. Then what is sigma raised to 3? Sigma raised to 3 means set of all strings of length 3 from the alphabet sigma, that is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So like that we can find out any length string of any length. Okay, that is sigma raised to 1, 2, sigma raised to 1, sigma raised to 2, sigma raised to 3, sigma raised to 4, etc. Okay. So one problem for you, given sigma as set ABC, then you find out what is sigma raised to 1, sigma raised to 2, sigma raised to 3 and sigma raised to 4, this sigma. Okay, try to solve it. Then set of all strings over the alphabet sigma is conventionally denoted as sigma star. Sigma star means set of all strings over the alphabet sigma. Okay, all strings. So it includes sigma raised to star is equal to sigma raised to 0 union, sigma raised to 1 union, sigma raised to 2 union, sigma raised to 3 union, etc. So in this case we can write sigma star as sigma star. Okay, sigma star is equal to the example sigma is equal to set 01. We have first epsilon. Okay, we have first epsilon. This is equal to set epsilon. After that epsilon we have 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, etc. Strings of any length. Okay, so this is the This is the sigma star for the set sigma is equal to set 0 1. Okay, so we can write sigma star is equal to sigma raised to 0 union, sigma raised to 1 union, sigma raised to 2 union, etc. Sometimes exclude empty string from the set of all strings. That is represented as sigma raised to plus. Sigma raised to plus. Sigma raised to plus means set of all strings that contain length of 1 onwards. That means it exclude sigma raised to 0. It exclude sigma raised to 0, contains only strings of length 1 onwards. That means it include only the non-empty strings. Okay. So we have the two equivalents. Sigma raised to plus is equal to sigma raised to 1 union, sigma raised to 2 union, sigma raised to 3 union, etc. Okay. Only the non-empty strings. Sigma raised to 0 is the empty string. Okay, so it contains only the non-empty strings. So we can write sigma star is equal to sigma raised to plus union set epsilon. Sigma raised to plus union set epsilon. So this includes the empty string also. Okay, so that's all about the power of an alphabet. Okay, so in this video we studied different terminologies related to theory of computation. So go through the terminologies, study the different notations to represent each terminology. Okay, thank you.